ever since I was a school kid. I used to wish that I could be one of the cool kids. Funny how things change, cause nowadays all the cool kids do is kick back and watch anime.
What is up, guys? It is your boy Lotus here today, and welcome back to the Nerd Corner. And in today's video, I'm bringing you my top 10 favorite manga series of all time. And this isn't necessarily what I think are the best, and they aren't necessarily ranked in that order either. These are the 10 series that over the years I've had the most fun with. They've entertained me the most, they've amused me the most, they've brought me the most joy and the most happiness. And I haven't looked at these objectively in terms of art, story, character development, consistency in the plot, or anything like that, and how I've ranked them. These are ranked in the order of just how much entertainment they brought me and just how much I like them and how much fun I've had while reading them. So do keep that in mind. Also bear in mind that this is just my own personal opinion, and I don't expect everybody out there to agree. In fact, I don't expect most people or anyone to really agree with this list, because I have some picks here that I don't expect to see on most other people's lists, especially one in particular I know people are going to have a problem with it being ranked as high as it is, but we'll get to that when we get to it. But if you disagree with my list, feel free to leave your own top 10 in the comments down below. In fact, I encourage you to do so, because I'd love to see what other manga people are interested in and they've had the most fun reading. Because you might have some stuff on your list that I've never heard of or never read that I might really enjoy, because even though there are stories out there that I know could probably be amazing, like Vagabond and Berserk and many others out there, I haven't read them yet, so they're not going to make their way on my list. But yeah, with all that being said, we're going to hop straight into it. I'm going to try not to talk too much about each series, because I want to do this relatively quick, because otherwise we'll have like a 30-minute video on our hands, and nobody wants that. So coming in at number 10, we have Twin Star Exorcist, which is a series that I feel is criminally underrated, because it has an anime that is not doing it any favors. It's doing it no justice at all. But I assure you, I promise you, I guarantee you that the manga is way better than the anime. And if you've seen it and you weren't a fan of it, I definitely recommend checking this out. And if you're still not a fan after reading the first volume, I'd be surprised, but to each his own. At least you tried, at least you gave it a fair chance. But I definitely do recommend this manga, because it's still relatively new, and though it has its cliches and its tropes that you expect from any shonen battle series, it's very well written, it's very well executed in my eyes. Love the characters, love the art, love the action. Everything about it is great in my eyes. Oh, the humor as well, because it does make me laugh out loud a few times as I've been reading it. So coming in at number 10 is Twin Star Exorcist. And up next at number 9 we have Hikaru no Go, which is a series about a board game of all things that you don't expect it to be as exciting and interesting as it is, but it is. And this is honestly a series that blew me away with how good it was, to the point where I got as excited while reading this as I did while watching sports series like Haikyuu and Kuroko's Basketball, which is amazing, because you don't expect a game like Go, which is basically like chess or checkers. It's not the same thing, but it's similar. But you don't expect a board game like that to really blow you away and wow you. But this series does. And I guess it helps that it's drawn by the master, the god himself, Takeshi Obata. That you guys already know I'm a fanboy for him. But yeah, it's truly a well-written story, a beautifully drawn story as well, and something that I really like. So coming in at number 9 is Hikaru no Go. And up next at number 8 we have Dragon Ball, which I don't gotta say too much about Dragon Ball. We all know what Dragon Ball is. One thing that I will say though is that I'm always partial to the first 16 volumes of the series. You know, the Adventures of Goku when he's much younger, when he's a younger boy. I love the entire Dragon Ball franchise, but the first 16 volumes is my personal favorite. That's what stuck with me the most. It's what I always reread the most, what I enjoy the most. And I just always have a lot of fun reading it. It makes me laugh. I enjoy the action. I love Goku's character and Bulma's character. And it's just a lot of fun. It's just a lot of fun. And one thing that I will say as well is that no matter who you are, you know what Dragon Ball is, and whether you like it or not, you gotta respect it, because it's definitely one of the most iconic, influential, and inspirational series that is out there. I mean, without Akira Toriyama, without Goku, without Dragon Ball, we wouldn't have a lot of series that exist today, like One Piece, the most popular, best-selling series in the world. Because Luffy is a lot like Goku in many ways. Eiichiro Oda took a lot of inspiration and has admitted to this, that he was greatly inspired by Akira Toriyama. Akira Toriyama is one of his role models. So, you know, without Toriyama, without Goku, without Dragon Ball, a lot of the shonen series, or a lot of the series in general that people love and admire and read all the time, and that they really love and have become invested into, it wouldn't exist without Dragon Ball, so you gotta pay your respect. So coming in at number 8 is definitely Dragon Ball. And up next at number 7 we have Shaman King, a series that again I feel like it's underrated, but I don't blame people, because if you weren't into it back in the day, I don't expect you to get into it now, because by today's standards it's nothing amazing, it's nothing mind-blowing. I don't expect a lot of people to read this and go, wow, where has this been all my life? But it's something that I discovered when I was younger. I like the anime, I like the manga, I think all of the characters are awesome, I love the artwork, the story is pretty entertaining in my eyes. I love the action in it, the abilities and the powers that the characters use by, you know, fighting using the power of different spirits. Like for instance, our main character fights alongside the spirit of a samurai from over 600 years ago. I think it's really cool. It's something that I have a lot of fun with and I always go back to reread. And even though the ending of it is questionable to say the least, I still always have a lot of fun with the series when I go back and read it, much like Dragon Ball. So coming in at number 7 is Shaman King. And up next at number 6, we have Yu Yu Hakusho. And I think it comes as no surprise that Yu Yu Hakusho would be on my list. I mean, my YouTube icon is Kurama after all. And even though he is my favorite character in the series, Yusuke Urameshi I feel like is a very unique main character, especially for the time that Yu Yu Hakusho was coming out, because like I said before, we have a lot of series today that are inspired by Dragon Ball, inspired by Akira Toriyama, or are inspired by series that were inspired by Dragon Ball. So it's like a chain reaction, like a domino effect of Akira Toriyama inspired somebody and that person inspired somebody else. But Yusuke Urameshi isn't like that, because he's not like Goku, he's not like Luffy. You know, he was a delinquent, he was a badass, he was a savage, he didn't give any fucks and he got into trouble, he didn't care about school or he didn't care about other people all that much. But that's what made him really cool in my eyes. He was unique, he stood out. Like, he wasn't like Goku and Luffy, you know, how he's, naive and very happy-go-lucky and kind-hearted for the most part, and he likes to eat a lot. You know, he wasn't like that. And that's something that always really appealed to me. And Yu Yu Hakusho as a whole, I think, is just an amazing series. It's got a ton of awesome action. I love the characters, and it's just all around a great time. And I know a lot of people prefer Yoshihiro Tagashi's other work, Hunter x Hunter. So maybe it's my nostalgia, maybe it's my bias, but I don't know. I feel like I genuinely just love Yu Yu Hakusho more than Hunter x Hunter. But it could just be the nostalgia. But either way, it's up here at number 6 on my list. And coming in at number 5, we have Solanin, a slice of life series written by Ennio Osano that I feel like anyone around the ages of about 18 to 24 can really relate to, because it's about, being in that transitional period between being a child and an adult and trying to find your place in the world and figuring out what you want to do in life. And that's something that I really related to and I really connected with, and I still relate to and connect with, because I'm still fairly young. And despite people thinking I'm around the ages of 25 to 26, I'm not. I'm a little younger than that. But even still, this is something that I really related to, and so it thoroughly enhanced my enjoyment of the series. Not to mention that Ennio Osano's artwork is absolutely beautiful. The way he combines, his hand-drawn style along with digital art is something to really admire and really be impressed by, and I really do enjoy it. So coming in at number 5 is Solanin. And up next at number 4, we have Dead Man Wonderland, a series that is classified as a shonen, but should honestly be a seinen in my eyes, because it's very dark, very mature, very gritty and explicit, very edgy, too edgy for some people apparently, but to each his own. I never got the whole too edgy for me thing, but maybe that's just because I still have the heart of an angsty teenager, but who knows, maybe my taste in anime manga is just shit, but that's a topic for another video. But yeah, Dead Man Wonderland, amazing artwork. Jinsei Kitaka has this very stylistic artwork that really stands out and appeals to me. And again, a lot of people call her artwork edgy, which I don't know how. I guess just because it's bloody and violent and stuff, and some of the poses some characters. I don't know, but I love Dead Man Wonderland, and this is another series that, much like Twin Star Exorcist, the anime doesn't do it any favors, and I guarantee you that you would enjoy the manga more than the anime, whether or not you liked the anime. Because first of all, it's better in every way in my eyes, first and foremost, and second of all, the anime only covers the first 5 volumes of the manga, and the manga is 13 volumes long, so you're getting less than half the content, and I promise you it only gets better and better and better after volume 5, and the ending is absolutely flawless. It's perfect in my eyes, nothing that I would change, and it's quite likely my favorite ending in all of manga, even better than the ending well, it's definitely better than my number 3, but a better ending than my top 3 series. So coming in at number 4 is Dead Man Wonderland. And up next, at number 3, is the series that I know is going to get me a lot of shit, a lot of hate comments, but it is what it is. I like what I like, you dislike what you dislike, and that is Naruto. And I'm not going to explain myself too much, but man, listen here, alright? I grew up with Naruto. It was the first manga I ever started reading. It was one of the first anime I saw growing up. I love the series. I love it to death. I grew up with Naruto as he grew older. I watched him grow from this shinobi that everybody looked down upon and hated. Not even a shinobi, this little punk that everybody hated and despised for seemingly no reason at first, into this very mature shinobi, this well-respected ninja that has saved people and developed and become so strong both mentally and emotionally and physically. And it's an incredible story to me, and it has its flaws. It's a far from perfect series, I know that. But despite all of its flaws, I'm so emotionally invested in the series, so sentimentally attached to it, that I'm always going to love it. I always enjoy it. And every time I go back and read those original 27 volumes of the story, I just always get filled with so much nostalgia and excitement and happiness and sadness and all this mix of emotions that just always make me love Naruto. So it's deserving of my number 3 spot in my eyes, and I'm always gonna have a soft spot for the series. So coming in at number 3 is Naruto. And up next at number 2 we have Death Note. Now Death Note is a series that never ceases to amaze me because it's full of a lot of mystery and suspense, and it keeps you on the edge of your seat. But the thing is, I've already read Death Note a few times, I've seen the anime a few times, so I already know all the characters, I know what's going to happen and how it's going to happen, I know how it all ends. But despite all that, I never stop getting excited when I'm reading or watching this series. Especially when I'm reading it, like I'm gripped. I'm always turning the pages. I'm always getting hyped and excited and impressed by Light and L. I'm like, yo, how did Light even think of something like that? Yo, how is L gonna be able to do this and he's gonna be able to do that? And oh no, Light, what you gonna do next? I'm always getting like super hyped up and excited, even though I already know who did what, how they did it, and what's going to happen next, and what the end game is. And that just blows my mind how, a mystery series where you already know the answers to everything manages to keep you that engaged, that impressed, that intrigued, and keeps you that grip to the story. Not to mention, again, Takeshi Obata, the god with the artwork, you know what I'm saying? My man is amazing with the pen. Favorite illustrator, hands down. But yeah, man, Death Note is just a story that always gets me excited. It always keeps me engaged and interested, even though I already know everything. And the fact that it's able to impress me, even though I know how it all goes, I think it's deserving of my number 2 spot because it's something that I always enjoy rereading or rewatching. So coming in at number 2 is Death Note. And the number 1 spot on my top 10 favorite manga list is, can we get a drum roll, please? Rurouni Kenshin. Rurouni Kenshin to me is an absolute masterpiece between the characters, the development, the plot, the artwork, the action. Everything about this series is masterful in my eyes. Kenshin Himura is one of the greatest characters I've ever seen in anime and manga. Nobuhiro Watsuka's art style is very unique and something that I truly admire and love. He has this very unique way of portraying movement and action. And in fact, if I can get you a good example, because this cover isn't actually doing the series many favors, but he has this very unique way of portraying action and movement with like these lines and these blood splatters, or I should say ink splatters, to portray blood that I don't see in any other manga. And maybe someone else does it, but I haven't seen it from anyone else, and I'm not sure how well you can see that, but you can see like these ink splatters on the page. It gives this very unique style to it that I haven't seen from any other mangaka or in any other series. And here's another great example that you can really see with the line work as well, to portray like movement and speed. And it's just something that like I just think is incredible. It's like I said, Nobuhiro Watsuka has a very unique style to me with his level of detail. It has a lot to do with his line work and his ink splatters. And it's something that I almost wish more mangaka did, but at the same time, I'm glad other mangaka don't do it as much, because that just makes his style, that much more unique, and it's that much more admirable and interesting for me to see. But yeah, for those who don't know what Rurouni Kenshin is, it's a story about this samurai here named Kenshin Himura, who was formerly known as the Hitokiri, the Batosai, the manslayer. And during the time of war, he was a very young but extremely skilled and talented samurai who killed a lot of people. So now he's got all these demons and all these enemies, and he regrets his actions during the time, and he swears off of killing. He never wants to kill again. He wants to repent for his sins, so he becomes a wandering samurai who just goes from village to village, town to town, doing good deeds, helping people out. But he's got all these demons now, all these people from his past and all these enemies that he's created that want to kill him. And so he gets into all these battles and all these fights, and it always keeps you guessing, like, is he gonna kill somebody? Because he's so strong-willed, but his patience and his will gets tested so many times throughout the story. He goes through so many trials and tribulations and so many hardships, and tries to protect all these people. And it's a very, very amazing story, to say the least. I mean, this series is nothing short of amazing to me, and I'm stuttering and I'm rambling, and I'm losing my shit just thinking about this story because I just love it so much. But Rurouni Kenshin is without a doubt my number 1 favorite series, and it took a lot of thought to get here. And if you asked me to place my top 10 manga in order tomorrow, I probably wouldn't be able to give it to you in the same number, in the same fashion, because I might change it right after this video is done. But I think Rurouni Kenshin would still be my number 1. In fact, I know it would still be my number 1. So yeah, it's an incredible story about one of the most amazing characters I've ever come across, and I love it. It's a masterpiece to me. So yeah, those are my top 10 favorite series out of every manga that I've read up to now. And yeah, that about does it. So what do you think of it? Do you agree, disagree, and what are your thoughts on any of these series that I've named? Drop me a comment down below. Also, like I said before, feel free to leave your own top 10 list, or better yet, make your own video, which you can link to me on Twitter, as I said before. Link will be in the description where you can follow me. But yeah, hit this video with a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, so you guys can stay tuned for all the awesome content I'm bringing you. And with all the being said, that's pretty much all I have for today, so I will catch you guys next time. Later.